bandwidth gets distorted. So
Sorry, I didn't catch it. Oh,
if you
maybe
log
the
into
connection is
the
not so good,
office,
eh?
so the bandwidth, yes.
Yeah,
So
better,
I'm
better.
just putting the
The
video up for that
bandwidth
reason.
is not so good. Okay, so let's stay
Yes, now
in
it's
the
perfectly fine.
yeah
Yeah,
we
yeah.
on the voice call, voice meeting. Okay, so nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Um,
Really nice to see you.
would you like to ask anything today?
No, I just wanted to be on time.
Okay, okay, okay.
I just wanted to be on time.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
we can do one thing. Have you gone to see my website in the bookshop page?
A little bit, and I was
Little
more
bit.
focused on the book.
Okay.
You know,
So I will do one
Potpuri of
thing.
Jagannath.
I will do one thing.
Yes.
I am going to share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
And I will show you the books that I was talking about. It's Introduction to Vedic
Okay.
Knowledge. I published it
Okay.
many years ago. These are all more or less old, old addresses and everything. But the table of contents
Very good.
is okay. So, can you see the
Okay.
screen?
Okay. Yes, I can. The
Good.
table of contents.
Okay, so we'll jump right away
Perfect.
into
Looks good to me.
the topic. So there are
Okay.
several chapters and 4 volumes in total.
Okay.
This edition, this version, is the one volume that has all the content. So it is a
Okay.
PDF that can be downloaded free from my website. So if you want to have a
Okay.
look at the PDF, because I think that to get the books in India is going to be more expensive than the book.
No, I'll
So
download it. That's for sure.
yeah, so if you can just download it, we'll all save a lot of headache. Okay,
Okay.
so the
Okay.
first chapter is the perspectives of study, which are extremely important because we don't
Okay.
want to go by the mainstream academic system,
Okay. Okay.
because the mainstream academic system was established with the declared purpose of destroying Hinduism. So we don't
Hello.
want that. The
Okay. Okay.
yeah, there are lots of we see in this chapter, it is explained
Mm-hmm.
how the Western academics have studied the Vedic culture, what they call Indology.
Mm-hmm.
As a contrast, this subsequent chapter, next chapter, is talking about the study of Vedic scriptures in Indian history. So we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
clarify the methodology, the protocols, first of all. Then we have the
Mm-hmm.
Vedic texts and clarify when, how, and by whom the Vedas were written, which is important because there is a lot of confusion on this subject. Then we talk about the
Of
four
course.
original Vedas: Samhita, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. There is a big section on the four Vedas with quotes and extracts and everything, the Samhitas. The
Mm-hmm.
Brahmanas, we just give a general idea, the Aranyakas, same. And the Upanishads, we also have extracts. We don't have extracts from the Brahmanas and
Okay.
Aranyakas, but they're not particularly famous in Samhitas and Upanishads. Everybody knows about that. Then we have the fifth Veda, which are the epic poems, the Itihasas, specifically the Itihasas and Puranas. So we have the Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana,
Mm-hmm.
and Yoga Vashishta, and the Puranas. We also have some extracts and everything. Then we have the secondary Vedas. The secondary Vedas are the Vedangas and Upavedas. Then we have the Vedanta Sutra, and then we have the Agamas and Tantra. So it's four volumes or four chapters, as you want to see them. But in case of chapters for the single volume, we have sub chapters. Okay, so it is. Usually I'm writing in a very easy manner, very simple, clear, that can be understood easily by anyone, because there's no point in writing for people who cannot understand. So we start from the very beginning of the academic system in Europe after Christianity. Because before Christianity, there was definitely study of Vedic knowledge in Europe, especially in Alexandria of Egypt. You heard about Alexandria? Maybe
A
not.
little bit.
Hellenistic culture?
Yes.
Not really.
Greeks.
Okay.
Greeks.
Okay, anyway, we discuss in the future. Then, okay, so after the Christianity was imposed in the old world of Europe and the Mediterranean especially, the church started to study, to have their own academic system around the year 1200. 1280, it was, already starting. And then we have the history of the universities and how most of the knowledge that was absorbed in Europe, especially the scientific knowledge, such as the decimal system, mathematics, chemistry, alchemy, astronomy, and what else? Medicine. You didn't mention medicine. and a lot of similar things were brought to Europe by the Arabs, because the Arabs took them from India. But because the Arabs are very good in advertising themselves, and usually the Indians are not, so the Arabs have convinced the mainstream academia that these inventions were made by Muslims, by Arabs. Anyway, this is the little bit of history. Then we have Xavier, Francis Xavier de Caso y Zapizliqueta, the famous Xavier schools. Then we have the Jesuits coming to India after Xavier. Then we have the colonial time. Okay. Then we start with the 1700, which is already colonial time, 1700, beginning of 1800. William Carey was the founder of the Baptist Missionary Society. In 1792, he published an inquiry into the obligations of Christians to use means for the conversion of the heathens. So he got the help of one Pandit Mrityunjay, and he started to make dictionaries and printed 200,000 Bibles in 45 Indian and Oriental languages. So it was very well organized. Then we have Charles Grant, Buchanan, Wilson. We have this Charles Grant. Okay. Bowman wrote, Hinduism is a great philosophy which lives on unchanged, whilst their other systems are dead, which as yet has supplanted has its stronghold in Vedanta, the last and the most subtle and powerful foe of Christianity. So Hinduism was seen as the enemy to be defeated. And this we also have Sir Monier Williams, you probably heard because his Sanskrit English dictionary is the most famous and popular. So he was writing, for what purpose then has this enormous territory been committed to England? Not to be the corpus vile of political, social, or military experiments, not for benefit of our commerce or the increase of our wealth, but that every man, woman, and child from Cape Comorin to the Himalaya Mountains may be elevated, enlightened, Christianized. When the walls of the mighty fortress of Brahmanism are encircled, undermined, and finally stormed by the soldiers of the cross, the victory of Christianity must be signal and complete. And it goes on. We have lots of people who wrote similar stuff. Macaulay, probably you heard about him. Alexander Duff. Then we have our Max Muller. Fantastic.
Yeah, very famous.
Yeah, Lacolio. But there were also people who actually appreciated Hinduism. So, that were targeted by Max Muller and the others. A good one was Jacques Lyon, who was very fond of Indian literature, Hindu literature, scriptures and everything, in India. And it goes on. People who actually defended Hinduism, Western people, meaning. Then we have the famous Sir John Woodruff, also known as Arthur Avalon, who actually became a Hindu. And we have Sir William Jones. Then we have other scholars, the first foreign scholars. And then we go back. The first foreign scholars to approach Vedic knowledge were probably the Greek philosophers, who even before the advent of Alexander the Great went to study in the famous universities of Nalanda and Takshila, that were nearest to the western boundaries of India. Indians too traveled often, and there is evidence of the presence of Brahmanas and Buddhist monks in Greece, especially in Athens, even before Socrates. And we go on, Pythagoras and Plato, Arianus, which is Flavius Arianus. Then we have Alexander the Great and Alexandria of Egypt, and the Hellenistic culture. It's very, very short, not big stuff. And the colonies of ancient Indians, like for example in Cambodia, the temple of Angkor Wat, which you probably heard about. Then we have the Islamic invasions, and then we go on, practically speaking, back to the history of India with the domination of various Islamic rulers and so on. Then the first part was the philosophical part. This is the historical part. Then Anquetil Duperron, another one, funny guy. Okay, and then we start with the first translations, and we go on until the more recent period, like Nietzsche, Steiner, Rudolf Steiner, Hermann Einstein, Maeterlinck, Hegel, and Margaret Elizabeth Noble, who was known as Sister Nivedita, who was an associate of Swami Vivekananda. Then we have the famous Mira Alfassa, Mother Mira Mer, associate of Aurobindo.
Yeah.
Then we have other people who wanted to study the Indian tradition, blah blah blah. Lots of people. So this gives an idea of the type of importance that Indian knowledge, Indology, has had in the West along the centuries. And we have lots of people, Thomas Eliot, and you can see, lots. Okay. Only a few lines for, each one of them. Until the contemporary people who are studying who have appreciated Hindu culture. Culture in the sense of knowledge, not dance, Right, okay. Now, then we have the second chapter is the study of Vedic scriptures in Indian history. Bivu, if you want to interrupt me, please do,
No, I'm speechless. I'm just because I downloaded the book as well, and I'm just following with what you're saying. I mean, you've done so much of
So much
work.
stuff.
I did one
Yeah,
PhD, but it looks like each of your book is like 3 PhDs together.
I actually have a tendency to encyclopedism. It's a disease. I want to be as complete as possible, because sometimes if you miss just one piece of the puzzle, you don't understand. So better to have as much as possible. Okay, anyway, in any case, again, stop me if there's something that is difficult to understand.
Okay.
It's not not clear enough, let's say. So, okay, then there is the script. Oh, okay, then we have the situation of the women and the Shudras, that some people believe they were not supposed to study Vedic knowledge, so we have a exhaustive discussion on the subject about, like for example, Brahmavadinis, Devadasis, Ganikas, as different categories from the Grihamedinis or Grihavadinis. So then we have Lokika Shraddha, the wives of Brahmanas, the Harita Dharma Sutra, talking about the various types of women, the Rishikas, and so on. Going down. So you see, there is a lot of stuff. This is all for the women. I think it's needed. Okay. And anyone, if they have any objection, or they can give me different information, I'm going to definitely verify, go and edit, no problem. Then we have the part talking about the Shudras and the Antyaja or the Avarnis, which is mostly Chandalas and Mlecchas. you know.
Mhm.
Then we have quotes and stuff. The Krimanto Vishwaryam, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata Purana mostly, Garuda Purana, the purification, the Suddhi. Then we
Mhm.
have the various qualifications required for each social position. It's all quotes, quotes with translation. How is your Sanskrit? Bibu, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. How's your Sanskrit?
I can hear you.
Good.
Not
How?
that good.
Yeah. How is your Sanskrit?
No, no, not good.
Yeah. I didn't
Very
hear.
bad.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. Because I just didn't hear it. Sorry. You have to speak loudly because
Okay,
otherwise it doesn't get here. Okay. Kshatamanu, and we go
okay,
on, we go
okay,
on. We can, have a look at now in Bhagavad Gita after we just quickly see this one. Uh,
okay.
this is still about the study of the Vedic knowledge in India. Okay.
Mhm.
Mohenjo-daro, okay. Then we start with the chapter who wrote the Vedas and when, which is also something that people always want to ask. Talk about the Sanskrit alphabet, which is practically almost the same as the Hindi alphabet, so probably you can read without any difficulty. Then we can go, we have the yantras, tantra, yantra, mantra, and so on. Difference between the mantras, the stutis, and everything. How to read the Veda Samhitas, the rigs, the suttas. Okay. Brahmapata. Okay, this is the different ways. Short list. Then we have a list of rishis. Many rishis contributed to the body of knowledge of Vedic scriptures. For example, Parasara wrote the Brihad Parasara Horashastra, and as well as some hymns of the Rig Veda, the Parashara Dharma Samhita, the Vishnu Purana, blah 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 blah. So when we talk about Veda Vyasa writing all the Vedas, we are talking mostly of Veda Vyasa and his family, like his disciples, his father, all the people who were in the same, what to say, enterprise. Okay, then we continue. Oops. The four original Vedas. So we have the list of the original Samhitas, and what we got: Samhita collections, Aranyakas, Upanishads. And we start with the Rig Veda. Introduction to Rig Veda. How many numbers? The 10 books, 10 mandalas, and mandala number 1, blah blah blah, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah blah, 6, 7, 10, and then we have some extracts like this, for example. The hymn for mandala 9 of Rigveda praise, may we obtain agility, strength, and mental power to win and repel our enemies and to become better persons. So then we have a little bit of explanation of the Soma Yagya. The book 10 has hymns to all of these personalities. Here are some extracts from the first book of Mandala, then second book, and go on, like that. Then we go after third book of Mandala, then we go to the Sri Sutta, Yajurveda, Rika, Sama, Ajus, and Atharva Veda, as we saw from the table of contents. And then we have we already went over the Atharva Veda. So after the Atharva Veda is a little different from the other three Vedas, three Samhitas, because it has more practical knowledge for the rituals, about medicine, about stuff like that is not found in the other three Samhitas. We could say the Atharva Veda is a kind of bridge between the Vedas and the Tantra, more similar to the Tantra. Okay, then we have Brahmanas. Okay, the Brahmanas is not the people, but is the scripture, the Brahmanas. Yaitareya Brahmana, Satapata Brahmana, blah, 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 blah. Then we have the Aranyakas. It's also quite short because it's basically a short philosophical commentaries. And then we have the Upanishads, which is a big break. We have 108 main Upanishads, and we have all this stuff, different categories of Upanishads. Then we have, we start from, we also have extracts from various Upanishads. Of course, these are extracts, they're not the whole thing. Then we have Upanishads going on. We are in the Mahabharata. This is in a Mahabharata area. That's it, where it starts. Here it is. Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. This is page 187 on this PDF. So we have
we have seen that Vyasa. We have seen that Vyasa worried by the decline of the intellectual and moral faculties of the human beings. Proceeded to compile collections of
I have problems in hearing you. I think it's something due to the computer, maybe some software problem. Can you please say it again a little more clearly? Because I didn't catch you.
Yeah, I was just reading page 187 with you.
Okay. So you got here. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Then after the Mahabharata, so you have seen already, This book you have seen already.
Yeah.
Okay, so we leave it to you, and then we'll go, for example, to the Bhagavad Gita. Have you seen the Bhagavad Gita? My edition? No, okay. You've seen this book?
Yeah, which one, the Mahabharata?
Bhagavad Gita. The global Dharma for the third millennium.
I'm yet to
Okay, anyway,
I
very
haven't.
quickly.
I have not seen it.
You have not seen it. Okay. Very quickly,
Okay.
there is introduction, chapter
Yeah.
1 to 18. And then
Okay.
how, yeah, introduction, chapter 1. We have a small summary of the each
Mm-hmm.
chapter at the beginning. And then we have the Devanagari, the transliteration with diacritic marks.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the dictionary meanings.
Mm-hmm.
We have the
Mm-hmm.
translation, and then we have the commentary. And the
Okay.
commentary is absolutely non-sectarian, and
Mm-hmm.
it is explained as simple as possible with mostly information and quotes, especially as we go on into the text of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna explains more philosophical concepts. There are many quotes and references as well. Okay, so this is Bhagavad
Mm-hmm.
Gita. Then, apart from this book, I started to prepare the appendixes, study guides, which are, for
Mm-hmm.
example, there. In English, we have only the where it is. These are all the appendix. There is only the first appendix, while in Italian I was able to make 3. The other 2 I will
Mm-hmm.
translate into English. So this is the appendix. Volume number 1 is giving the Gita Mahatmya by Adi Shankara.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Very important.
uh,
It's very.
Gita Mahatmya in the
Yeah.
appendix. In the appendix.
Yeah.
So appendix study guide. Then after the Gita Mahatmyas, there are just 8 verses. Then we have the entire introduction to Bhagavad Gita and the story of the Ramayana, as we put in the first volume. In the Italian version, I show you, because you know Italian is
Mm-hmm.
so we have 3 appendixes. So number 1 is exactly like the
Mm-hmm.
English one. This number 2, appendix number 2
Mm-hmm.
is a glossary, and
Mm-hmm.
appendix number 3 is a study guide. Study
Okay.
guide
Okay.
is the study method, the context, which is just
Yeah.
1
Yeah.
page. The
Primary
first
lecture.
reading,
Prima lettura.
prima lettura,
Yeah.
capitoli 1-18, seconda lettura, gli altri capitoli, terza lettura,
Yeah.
studio dei capitoli, domande di verifica, struttura dei capitoli e dell'opera, lista dei versi sanscriti, principi della pronuncia del sanscrito e letture consigliate. So maybe you can help me translate it in
Right.
English. Who knows? If you have time.
Someday, definitely, I look forward to.
If you have time, no problem. Now, my plan is to continue getting organized logistically. So, my next step will be moving to a different place, a different housing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can do it in this 1 or 2 months. Then I'm going to register the association in Italy, and then
Okay.
I'm going to start a bank account in the name of the association, and then I'm going
Okay.
to start a crowdfunding campaign, and then I'm
Okay.
going to get better equipment for the digital level. And then
Right.
in the meantime, I have to find out how the EPUB software works, because all the books have to be reformatted in EPUB format. It's not
Okay.
something that depends on me. That's the change, what is happening in the market in general. Then I'll open a new Amazon account just for the NGO, the association, so it will not be messed up. And I will again reload all the books, because now it's a chaos. We were discussing about this before. So I have a
Okay.
lot
So,
of plans. Tell.
yeah. So yesterday I checked the Indian contract.
I cannot hear you, Boo. Listen, it's better we talk on the voice call or WhatsApp about these things, so that the connection will be better.
Okay.
Huh? But no, I'm
Okay.
just telling in
Okay.
general what I'm going to do for the books specifically. Now, these versions of the books is the old version that needs to be revamped, but they're still around, they're still good enough. Gita, Bhagavata Purana, Gods or Aliens, Introduction to Vedic Knowledge, Jagannath, Puri Jagannath, Prasnottara, and the Life of Krishna Chaitanya is already published in English. Otherwise, the Upanishads are only in Italian. Prasnottara is published both in English and in Italian. So, the Awakening of the Mother Goddess is also in Italian only. So, since I went out of India, since I've gone out of India, I had to
Mm-hmm.
redo completely, reorganize completely. So slowly, I'm getting there. Okay. So these are the books you can find in the bookshop page of the website.
Yeah.
You, as we said, you can have a look. You can continue to have a look whenever you have
Mm-hmm.
time. There's no problem. No rush, but I am available. So, as we
Yeah.
were discussing before, here it is. Let's see. Dalip, Gemma. Yeah, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Thanks. Gemma. Okay. So, yeah, if you
Okay.
want, we can continue, or otherwise, we can move to the WhatsApp voice call.
Okay. So we can go into the WhatsApp voice call and be more clearer.
Yeah, little better quality. Now, I wanted to go this on
Of
Google
course.
Meet to show you the books, which I could
Okay.
not do
So
on
I'm here in
WhatsApp.
Google Meet. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
calling you from WhatsApp, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.